What's up, Bearheart Nation? How's it going? So today I'm trying to be a little bit quiet because I'm in a cave right now. There's a bunch of people around, but I want to make this quick video to talk a little bit about some publishing stuff, basically self-publishing as well as writing, and just some stuff that's based off of some of the more recent things on my channel, especially the short horrors. Which I hope that you're enjoying those short horror stories. I've been trying to release them every Friday at about 6 p.m. Eastern time. So far, I've been doing pretty good the past couple of weeks, but we'll see how things keep going because I'm writing those stories every week. So there's a fresh new story that I'm coming up with every week. So it's something to keep an eye out for. If I miss a Friday, I'll post something about it. But my goal is to make it every single Friday. Outside of that, I also want to make sure that I'm doing these kind of videos every once in a while. Basically, helping out other people who enjoy or who are trying to maybe publish a book, maybe somebody who's new, whether you're trying to traditionally publish or self-publish. There's a bunch of different pitfalls. A lot of things, excuse the birds, a lot of things that I've learned along the way as I've been self-publishing. Speaking of which, my debut novel. So I wanted to show this off again. It's available in paperback on Amazon. I've also got it listed through Lulu, but not a lot of people seem to know Lulu, so I went ahead and listed it through Amazon as well. And then, of course, the ebook is available through Amazon as well as Apple and Barnes and Noble and a bunch of others. So I'll put the link down. I've got a special link, a book to read link that will lead you to every possible version that's available out there. So if you're interested in picking up my novel, The Journal, go check it out. Check it out in the links down below in the description. That out of the way. So what I wanted to talk about in this video and the reason why I'm sitting here in this cave, one is because I wanted to make these videos a little more interesting when I go out. I want to record someplace cool. The last video a couple weeks ago, I was out at still in the Hocking Hill State Park, but I was out at the Old Man's Cave area, and it's a beautiful spot that I'm working on with some photography stuff. I've got my camera with me. I'm always taking pictures. So I was working over there, and then today we went hiking there, and then we came over here to check out what is a place called the Rock House. And this is just a huge cave. It's huge by the standards that I haven't been in a ton of caves in my life, but it's a good sized cave that you can hike through. It's a really cool little area. So I was taking some pictures and getting some video. My wife's filming a video for her channel talking about the hiking area. So we've got all that going on. But the self-publishing thing is something that I've noticed a lot of people. I've run across people that are unsure about self-publishing. I've seen a lot of the author channels on YouTube here that are not really as they don't talk as much about the self-publishing stuff as I think they should. Mostly because a lot of them focus heavily on the fact that you have to hire out an editor, you have to hire out a cover designer, you have to do all this stuff. I did all of that myself. So that's something that I want to let you know, that if you are trying to self-publish and you're maybe worried about the cost that could be involved with hiring out an editor and that kind of stuff, it is possible to do it yourself. It takes a lot more time, it takes a lot more work, and it takes learning some skills and getting some expertise that you don't get from just writing. Anybody can sit down with a Microsoft Word document or a Google Docs and they can type up a manuscript. You can blurb, put 100,000 words on a sheet. But there's a lot of other skills that are going to go into it if you want to self-publish and save as much money as you possibly can. Namely, one of the big things for me was going through, especially with the journal. I was writing that as a serial novel. So basically, I was doing a chapter every week, and I was writing the chapter, going through it slowly, multiple times, taking a day or two in between reads, just to kind of make sure that it sounded right, that the spelling was all good, the grammar was all good. So that's all stuff, and that took me a week to write 1,500 or 2,000 words. Whereas a lot of people pride themselves and I'll sit down and do 2,000 words a day. Like, you don't have to do that if you're self-publishing and you're trying to save some money. So that's one tip that I would say is take your time, go slow, read through it. Learn about grammar, learn about what works, what doesn't work, so that you can break the rules if you need to. There's plenty of places in here that I'm sure an English teacher would sit down and say, "Why would you do that?" And it was an intentional rule break. It was something where I know how this is supposed to be phrased, but I want it to be this way for a reason. So if you know the rules, you can break the rules. It's the same thing as photography. If you know the rules, you intentionally break them for a reason, and that adds something to the work. Now, That's especially important with the grammar and the spelling, but it's also true with cover design. Learn how to use Adobe Photoshop. That's a big one. Learn how to take. I took the photo that's on the front of this book. I set everything up. I got it all ready. I got my camera, and I took the photo. I edited it, put it all together. I edited the cover together. I actually used Lulu Press to create the full cover because they have an outstanding cover tool where you just put like your basic stuff, what you want on there, and they already have the format. You just move stuff around. It makes it super easy, and then you can take that cover and you can use it on other copies. So I've actually got that on the Amazon version as well. I did have to remove the barcode on the Amazon version because they put their own barcode on there. But that's for another video. The differences between publishers. The other thing is the formatting especially for the physical copy of the book. The formatting is a big deal. You have to format it a specific way depending on how you're doing it. So I probably just had to cut some things. There's a lot of people out today. A lot of people followed us. We got here. We were the only ones here. So a lot of people showed up after us. Hopefully it's not too loud. I'm hoping that the microphone cuts up most of the other noise. But yeah, the formatting. So when you're actually formatting for whether it's a physical copy or for an ebook, there are different there's margins, especially for paper or for the actual physical book. You can see the margins. The outside margin is the distance between the words and the page. The inside margin is between the words and the actual spine of the book. So there's different formatting that you have to learn how to do. There's different things. I had a hard time. I struggled a lot with getting the chapter. I've got the chapter titles, if you notice, on the one page, and then I've got the name of the book on the other page. I struggled trying to get that. I had to figure that out. That's something that there's different guides out there, but there's just nothing that's as in-depth because most of the time people that are formatting books have been doing it for a long time and they're very familiar with it, so they don't need a whole bunch of guides. So it's few and far between to find those kind of things. And maybe at some point, if I get a lot of people asking, I might make a guide of my own. I'm just not very good at making those kind of guides normally. But let me know if you guys want to see something like that, and we'll see if we can make it happen. But yeah, so if you can learn the formatting, you can learn the cover design, you can learn the basic spelling and grammar and all that kind of stuff. It's really not. I don't want to say it's not difficult because it can be difficult. It can be very time consuming, but it's something that you can do. You don't need to hire out an editor. You don't need to hire out a book cover designer. A lot of it's just common sense. A lot of it's paying attention to what you want, figuring out how what you want works with the genre that you're trying to write in. So there's all those kind of things to consider. But that's just a basic video. I didn't want to go too in depth with it. I just wanted to talk basically about it. And for anybody that is interested in maybe you're trying to publish your own book, or maybe you are just curious, maybe you've seen books and you're like, what's the process like for that? So that's basically what it's like from start to for the overall stuff from start to finish. I'm planning on going more in depth in this series in the future. Like I said before, I don't want to make these aren't going to be a common thing. I'm not doing these videos on a regular basis. It's not like the short horror stories where I'm trying to do those every week. These are just kind of whenever I feel like it, whenever I'm out, especially for times like this where it's a beautiful day. We've had some great weather, the best weather we've had in a while. So we've had the chance to actually get out and record and do stuff like that. So that's all I got for this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the short horror stories. If you do, if you came here for the short horror stories and you stuck around this long, thank you. I'm glad that I'm doing something that is entertaining enough to keep you on more than just the short horror stuff. If you're new here and this is your first video, hey, thank you. If you want to see some short horror stories, if you want to learn some more stuff about self-publishing and that kind of thing, hit the subscribe button because I'm trying to post these videos and get some stuff out that I wish I would have known when I first started with this whole process. So I want to thank you all for watching. Everybody have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.
Stumbling out of bed, and I still got you in my head. From all those pretty words you said, it's like I'm wasted. Every time I see your face, I'm losing track of time and space. I don't know where I am, it's like I'm wasted, and I won't waste it. And I promise that I will stand by you forever. I can't get you out of my mind. I will fight. closer now, 'cause I don't wanna slow this down. My heart is screaming out your name. I'm wasted on you. Here we are, right underneath the stars. So let's get a little reckless. You make me breathless, and I won't waste it.